We have couples that rock and that work together in business. And today we got Franklin, Cruz, and Bridgette. Welcome on the show.
Thank you.
I want to first of all talk about how you guys got together and to know a little bit of backstory of what you guys were doing before you met each other. I believe, Franklin, were you doing real estate investing at the time?
Yeah, I was doing real estate. I was actually full-time active duty in the military and doing real estate part-time. And when I met Bridgette, then I started ETSing, what it means slowly, but I was transitioning out of the military.
What does ETS stand for?
ETS means transitioning out. That's the last thing I remember. We just call everything's acronyms in the military.
Sure.
So ETS, we were just transitioning out of the military. So I had 6 months of vacation before I got out, and I used up that time, and then I got out of the military.
So that's where you met Bridgette?
That's when I met the woman that changed my life.
Yeah, let's tell the woman's side of the story, right?
Yeah, so Bridgette, what were you doing?
Yeah, I was running properties. I managed apartment communities, 220 units and up. And I met Franklin through actually business. Business led to pleasure, and we started dating. I basically took his properties that weren't cash flowing and evicted everyone. He almost broke up with me, and I rented them and, you know, created some cash flow for him. Took a bad situation, turning it to good, and he said, "Will you marry me?" Like 6 months later, we got married.
So you guys fell in love very quickly, I'm assuming?
Yeah, we worked really well. I mean, instantly from day one, it was business with us, and then just
it transitioned over. Now, what happened? My story is that, and probably Bridgette doesn't want me to say it, but when I was in the military, I was an Army recruiter also. Yeah. Transitioning to MacDill, and I worked at MacDill, went to the Middle East and did everything over there, but I was just like everybody else, you know. I was extremely happy dating and having a good time doing that, you know, single guy. I had money and everything else, so I was very open to everybody that wanted to date me. If you understand what I'm saying. So when I met Bridgette, it was almost like everything just changed. It's almost like you meet that one, which is corny to say, everybody sees the movies and whatnot, but honestly, it just stopped. You know, Bridgette's actually the first person I never cheated on. I never tried to even date anybody else. I just didn't even care about all the other women. And even though when, it was funny because a couple times we would watch a movie at my house, and out of nowhere you hear,
yeah.
and Bridgette's like, "Who's that at the door?" I was like, "Oh, it's nobody. Don't worry about it." And she'll open the door. It's like, "Is Franklin here?" I'm like, "Shut the door." It's like, this is not gonna work. So it was funny because that happened honestly probably about 12 times in our relationship.
So you were a busy bachelor there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a proud bachelor when I met him.
So now, what I'd like to get into it, when you have some business sense, obviously you brought it to the table, and you were trying to do real estate investment.
Mm-hmm.
How did Bridgette's expertise help you? Because obviously she was a great property manager working for the institutional investors, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
So was it a shock for you to have a lady that just she knew how to
huge
run the
shock.
business and how to help you with your business?
Yeah, I mean, it was more of a turn on for me. But honestly, it was just a huge shock. Because I was in a world that it was man-dominated. You know, military is a little bit man-dominated.
Sure.
So when you hear a woman that can take control and understand business and understand people, and not just take it from a level that on my rental properties in the beginning, I was not really cash flowing. I would put anybody into a rental property. And the only reason why I had it is because I heard that's how you create wealth. I just didn't understand the full aspect of it. And when Bridgette came, you know, at the time, I believe I had like 25 rental properties. And literally, she evicted all of them. Every single one of them. So for a couple months, you know, I was paying a $30,000 monthly bill, you know, to all these mortgages. And after she put everybody brand new, you know, I still have renters, which it's been a while, you know, about 4 or 5 years now that I still have those same renters that she put in. Now, in the institutional, she was a phenomenal property manager for the company that she was at. She had zero vacancies in a 5-year period that she worked there. Nobody, if she put them in, they stayed, and they would always renew and everything else. So her statistics was just unbelievable.
I had a great rapport with the company that I worked for, and they would actually hop me from Texas to Florida. They were taking over properties. They would send me there, kind of reestablish what was going on, kind of retrain the management that was there, and then I'd come back to my home, which was in
So you would be obviously part of the people that would train people there in different areas of the country. and show them what to do.
Yeah, just Texas. They took over a lot of properties in Texas, so they would send me there. But my renewal rates were awesome. I built a great rapport with my residents. I hate calling them tenants, my residents. And I just learned how to just deal with people. And a lot of people like property management. Investors hate it. They hear I have to manage my own property, they cringe, you know. And like Franklin was saying, a lot of these investors, and there's still some of them doing it out there. If you walked up to them right now with $1,000, say, "Here's my money," they'd just take your money and put your name and your date of birth, and they'd move you in. You know, they don't do any screening, they don't do any work, any leg work. They just throw you in the property.
What is it that you do differently or uniquely, like Franklin said? Because you'll still have some turnover, but obviously you have a knack for it. What are some of the things that you do differently that might separate you from the rest?
Number one, don't let money influence my decision. So even if the property has to sit vacant for 3 months, I just want to get the right family, the right person into the unit, is what we call it. I mean, just like what typical property managers typically do, I hope. They would start off with the application process and they would do screening. And they don't just dig into maybe the last place that they rented from. Let's dig in deeper. Let's go down to their history. Because in history, a lot of people say you know them by their fruit. So let's look at their fruit. Right. Let's look at their history. Let's look at their job stability. Let's look, are they hoppers? Have they been from 6 months here, 6 months there? They're going to do the same to you. So, and then character. If they show up to a showing, I hate to say this, but they show up to a showing dirty, their kids are dirty, your house is going to be dirty. If they show up just bad language and attitude from the get-go with you, they're going to be an issue the rest of the lease term. Why would you want to rent to someone? So it's like a mixture of all the above. You do the legal stuff, and then the owners have the right to choose who they want to. So once I do all the screening, I take it to them and I go, this is my evaluation of what I found of this person. Do you want them or do you not? If there's any comment in there of me saying they gave me a really hard time, during showing, or they didn't show up to a showing twice, this is a third reschedule, they're going to do the same with their rent each month. So it's really based on paper and character. And so I just took the two and combined it. It's just something I've always done, and it's always worked for me. I haven't had to do eviction in a really long time.
So now you guys work together day in and day out, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Well, she runs the property management side, and I run the other two companies on our real estate company.
But you still work together?
Yes,
we're in the
every
office
day.
together.
Every day.
How do you manage to do that, where some people will be at each other's throats? You guys seem to, enjoy working together, and it makes your relationship stronger, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So talk about some of the keys to success in that arena.
Well, first I would say that when we first got together and we first started in the company, a lot of people are like, man, why would you do that so quickly? You just got married. Why would you want to do that? And I just saw the potential from Bridgette from day one, not just in business, but just everything in general. She was just the person I just like, man, I know she could do anything she wanted to do. And I was telling myself, I said, look, if I want to do this, it's going to be difficult, but this is what I'm going to choose to do. So I believe it's all about choices, and I made that choice that I'm going to do this. I know we could start something from nothing and change the way that our family is. Because I believe it's not just about us, but now we're going to start, we have children, and now she's pregnant actually right now, 2 months.
Yeah, congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
This is the baby show, because both
This is the baby's first time being on TV. So when I saw that, I really want to make an impression in my family, because you see all these rich families, the Vandenberts and all these other big families, like, man, how did they start? And they start from one person in the family that said, you know what, we're going to make a difference.
So let me ask you guys this. Were your families well-to-do to begin with, or did you guys start with, from scratch?
Are you kidding?
Financially?
Yeah.
Well, I say that because a lot of people will look at the finished product, and they'll think that you were born knowing what to do. No. So you guys learn, right, from the ground up?
Yeah, I would say, Bridgette came from a very difficult life in Lakeland. A similar story to myself. I'm adopted. My mother passed away when I was 10 years old. I just am now building a relationship with my biological father. But the man that raised me, who is my father, is Cruz. That's the one that raised me. And if it wasn't for him, honestly, I wouldn't even be close to the person I am today.